bam, outside, and everything was going wrong. So I texted like, storm, gotta go. And then I just had to run. Like, I know it wasn't a storm, but I was like, I need to just say something quick that makes them understand that something is happening. And I felt like that was the most accurate, or the best word to use. Not accurate, so that's not correct at all. Are these waves coming from that
How
side?
cool's that? Anyway, let me just kill the audio on that, and then I can talk about the 580s. Hang on, there's the audio. We don't need that. Hopefully,
Yeah, but the funny thing
you
as
can
well is
still
like
hear
while
me.
they were there in the
And I'm coming
in,
back here. That was Mara doing the
they had my
live
stream running, so they
24/7
could
all the
also
way
see what
solo
was
across the
happening, and they
Atlantic. And the
saw
reason I
me
put it
running
there are two
around
things.
doing
That's
the
pretty cool.
things.
She's an entrant in
But then
the Golden
luckily,
Globe race, of course.
they had
It's her
another
qualifying
segment
voyage,
at 6 o'clock.
4,000 miles. Got to go through some
just
waypoints
fixed everything
to increase the
and then
distance,
join
because it's
in.
only about 3,300 or something where she was leaving from. Got to do 4,000. But it makes me think that, without restrictions on technology for 2029, the same as we've got now for the MGR with Starlink,
I don't want to
this
be
is
there
what
because that
Burton wanted to
seems
do.
like
He wanted to do
the
for
way
this edition of the MGR. He said,
crazy.
I want to get on there and stream
But I know it's
24/7.
like
And of course, it
basically
needs
right
a bit
on
of
my
battery
path.
power. We've restricted the. We've got lots of restrictions on the idea of the 580, and there's reasons for that. And one of the biggest ones was no more than 200 watts of solar power, okay, and no more than 200 amp hours of battery capacity, because we didn't want to turn the boats into a Christmas tree with all sorts of electronics and driven all the way with electric autopilots and all that sort of stuff. We wanted to go back to what it was really like. I mean, we allowed GPS and things like that, but the essence of it is a little boat, homemade or plywood built. You can buy one now if you want, and sailed under a wind vane. And the wind vane was really important. It's an important definition, because at the moment you go into the autopilots, it's like all the others with electronics everywhere and electrical and not so much human and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, we then so you got to have a commercially proven wind vane, because a long way around the world, and we allowed the Entrant to carry 2 autopilots, but now some of them have gone through 5 or 6 on the way around, because they try an autopilot is faster than a wind vane. So at the moment, our thinking is that we will, in fact, it is already restricted, but you can have 2 autopilots and you put another one on if you blow them up, and it'll be a big time penalty, and that may increase dramatically between now and the next year. I'm still thinking about and reviewing various aspects of the MGR as we get to the finish. We've all learned a lot. I've learned a lot. The Entrants have learned a lot. They're not likely to do it again, but it's been a hell of a ride, because they're all achieving something really quite special. It's the first. So and it's going really well, and it's been fantastic, and so on. So, but you can pretty much say that in the next MGR, exactly what is happening here, you're not going to get the audio, I've drawn it down, is going to happen on the 580, because it's, we will embrace technology to the extent that the Entrants want to use it. And, Mara's got truckloads of lithium batteries there, which is pretty amazing, because the lithium batteries, as you know, they're the same size and 3 times the capacity, and they weigh bugger all. So whether we increase the electrical side of it or not, I doubt whether we will. So, but what that'll mean is that some people might stream for a whole day, or in a storm, to put the cameras on the boat, which is no big deal. Cameras are getting smaller, simpler, and if there's something happening, they might start streaming with those cameras to show you the experience of what's going on, more so than just a few bits and pieces. I have no idea the cost. Mara's 24/7 live on Starlink, all the way across, I don't know how that works. I think if you pay a certain subscription, way more than the normal stuff, you get unlimited data. But I'm not sure when that cuts in. But it won't be cheap. But times are changing, so anyway, it's going to be kind of fun. But I got to say, you know. Oh well, I always say it as it is. I mean, there's a love-hate relationship with Mara. That's the same, and I've seen that. You probably may know that I supported Jessica Watson, 16-year-old girl, heading around the world solo non-stop back in 2009, 10. And there were some people there that just absolutely hated
Also, my
Jessica.
sail bag is
Met her. Never knew anything about her really. There was just this little so-called little girl sailing solo around the world.
And I was going to close it yesterday.
She had like millions.
I heard like a zip.
And there was this whole category of people who just hated it. I don't know whether it was empty or whatever. I got no idea. I don't go there. But Mara was certainly coming into the MGR with a very bold statement on her. You know, I'm just saying she's going to have a big following for sure. Now, whether she can do it or not, no one knows. Neither does she. She doesn't know whether she's going to make the start of the GPR, but she's given it a good shot. And whatever happens, a lot of people will be following because that's part of the journey. You know, maybe she'll start. Maybe she, like all entrants, you know, we currently got 24 entrants in the GGR, and I reckon we'll only have 22 at the start, from what I'm perceiving. But maybe we'll have 18 again. It's really hard to get to the start. When you get there, we have a success rate, if you call success crossing the finish line, and I never say that. It's just, you know, everything's a process and a journey. How many will finish the next GGR? I think it'll be quite a few more than we've had in the past. We've only had about 20% finish. You know, we had the first one, there was 9 starters and 1 finisher. Next one in 2018, we had 16 starters and we got 5 finishers. And the last one in 22, we only had 3 finishers out of 20 starters, I think it was. We had 3 finish. So who knows? But anyway, once again, a quick peek, Mara this morning. And the fun part about this is, I mean, you can just log on any time you want, have a look, see what she's up to. She's got boat statistics down the side. Sometimes the tracker comes up, the tracker there comes up, and you can have some fun with that. You can join the conversation.
Like, they're so massive, but the way the boat moves on them just makes them feel
huge,
pretty chill.
And I was trying to do some searching on.
See them behind.
Trying to do some searching on whether it's a big first. Others have done 20. I saw a fully crewed boat doing a live across on a record-breaking trip. It wasn't Comanche. It's one of the other big ones, I forget. And they streamed live for about 8 days. But she's going to be out there. She'll keep it working. It'll be for 40, 30 days or something. Anyway, good fun. So you can log on to that. Oh, I shared it on here anyway. You might have seen the post. Enough of that. What's happening with our fleet? It's really quite incredible. So let's get straight to it. Here we go. So you're on the tracker. And I'm going to get on the tracker. I hope everyone's there because I'm a bit squeaky when you don't get on for a while. I've got to make sure it's all working right. So I got up this morning at like 6 o'clock or something and on the tracker, and Kerry's 40 miles behind Peeler at 4 on the 4 o'clock position report. So 40 miles behind after only 14 hours. And Christian's back on track. You can see, hang on, I'll get... I think it was they went wide, and I don't know. All I can think of is once again, if you look at the track down here, look at the it's coming up from the start here. It was a great start, and thanks Christine for doing the live for us. That was great. We couldn't log on initially. We only logged on and got it shared here for 25 minutes after the start. We were out in the field. We couldn't log into the internet, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story. Anyway, we got it up about 20 minutes late or something. But yeah, there was obviously more wind offshore.
Okay, I'll be quick.
So everyone did a pack. There is hazards inshore. They've got to get around them. I don't know whether
are able to
show you the.
Suffice
to say, just in here, there's a bunch of reefs.
It's not a quiet patch.
So they had to come out on this leg in this probably easterly breeze that was there before. Now it's got a bit of northeasterly in it. And Kerry may have decided to head way out here. Christian came out because there appeared to be more breeze offshore than inshore. It may not have worked.
One.
Anyway, the others that stayed inshore managed to sneak through, and they've got Kerry was taking out here as well. I would talk some of it if you're watching, give us a call, and we'll get your description of what was happening here at the end if you watch it.
Together.
So there's the bunch.
Oh,
Incredible time in receive.
I can eat that.
The guys at FB Vella, the Sailing Association there, the Commodore and all their team. They had a lot of people out there from the start, which was great.
Over the floor.
Did a great job of that, and it was quite a cool thing in the harbour. That created its own things. We insisted that boats don't sail off the marina. It's part of the sailing instructions. They have to come off the marina using their motor. And it was starting in a shipping channel in the harbour. So we needed the motors on board the boats, and that was the sailing instructions. So they needed to be mounted, whether you used them or not. And you weren't allowed to take them off until after you crossed the finish line. And failing to do that, there's a 3-hour time penalty.
Oh, this is what it is.
That is in the sailing instructions. So that if there was ever a ship coming through, people at least had their motors ready to go if they needed them. In fact,
what did I forget? Probably
the motor was checked and witnessed operational before they left the marina, which was all done. And anyway, that was the status there. Now, there'll be more about that later on, maybe. So just be aware of that. Okay, so where are we at right now? We've got Kerry doing 4 knots. He's done 26 miles in the last 24 hours. That distance may be measured on the run line, which comes out a lot straighter, so Kerry's possibly sailed a bit more than that. But anyway, 26 miles, and he's got 2,208 miles to the finish, and the weather looks pretty light. We'll go through that in a minute. What have we got here? Also, we've got 361 days we've been out there for the moment. Okay. So, we'll put this up a bit more, make it a bit bigger. Oh. What's going in here? Yep, there we go. Okay, so here's a split. We've got Christian doing 3.3, so Kerry's got a bit more breeze, I'd say. 3.3, 44 miles from the start, and 2,190 to go. Entrant, 4.5 knots, 51 miles. That's pretty good. And Jasmine, 4.2, 51. Now, Jazz was not feeling so good. You may not realise that. The last day or so, she wasn't feeling so good, and there was she was assessing whether she would leave or not. So she's doing really well. We thought she'd be laying low once she got offshore, but she's doing well to be there. She did start. She was thinking that she might wait 24 hours and fully recover. But anyway, good to see she's underway, and I hope she's feeling fine. I'm assuming she is for now. I haven't heard anything that contribute from
I need to turn. Come on, so into my pocket.
Would have been quite depressing to stay behind, I'm sure. Josh, 3.6, not as much breeze, maybe inshore, and that's what the forecast is showing. He's done 54 miles, which is pretty good. 2,180 to the finish. They're all still bunched up. Eric, 4.1, 55 miles since we started. Adam, 3.5, 55 miles. Adam seems to be really happy about being underway. He's heading home, and you've got a huge following. You've got like a whole party. You've got about 500 people coming to Antigua for the party. Something like that. Here's a go between Jacob and sorry, you want to go with see how close they are. They're right next to each other. Go. Okay, so we've got Dan Turner. What's going on, Dan? Dan Turner doing 4 knots and 60 nautical miles. Jacob doing 4. breeze. Haven't looked at the current yet, but Pila's right up there, and the breezes are northeasterly at the moment. Okay, when we come back into the wind, this is something that Pila has shown. Oh no, it's not. I digress. That was looking had some northeast in it before. Down here, and this is the swing zone right on the top of Brazil. See that? That's an easterly there, and down here. Anyway, let's just come back. We're looking at the weather now. This is the swing zone where the southeasterly trades hit the coast, and they usually turn. Here's the turn here. It's down a bit further down. So here, yes, it's after the beam. Because what I was going to say was that Pila has the ability to be quite fast when the wind is either on the beam or forward of the beam. Now, that's just what we've noticed over the last 300 days, right? So this could bode well for her because the breeze is actually going to be on the beam most of the way, generally speaking, and maybe even a little bit forward of the beam in the last number of days. So, and she's, we spoke to her, and she's got a bee in her bonnet. She wants to get in front of Kerry, and she'd love to catch Dan. It's a few days. That might be more difficult, but things can go wrong. Touch wood, not badly wrong. If an entrant makes a mistake, lose the sail. We put them under pressure with the sails. We said because a lot of them were carrying spare sails, and they thought they could open them up underway because up until receive, the standing on sails and sort of sealed sails and carrying the spares has evolved on the run. There was never anything in the notice of race on how we would tackle the use of sails that were opened up. And so we made the ruling for the whole race that you can carry them, but you can only open them and break the seal when you're in port, as if you had a new sail ordered and arrived and you put it on the boat. If you opened it at sea while you're underway, we'd add on another penalty. But we looked at that, and I could see what was happening. People were gambling and saying, "Oh, let's just carry the sails," and blah blah blah. And so we put it for the last leg that you're not allowed to open your sail on the last leg and take an extra penalty. You're disqualified from being in the running for the MGR. So you still finish the circumnavigation, but you're not in line for trophies. That put some pressure on. So there was a few people thinking long and hard. The only one that moved on it was Eric. Eric decided to crack open his mainsail in the port. So that's it now. They've got to sail with the sails they've got on board. If they break a sail, they can't open a new one. Otherwise, they're out of the rankings.
Your screen is black.
My screen is black.
Yeah, and then they still can hear Mara before. So you need to shut off the video.
Okay. Hang on. Can I just shut? Hang on a sec. Okay. So that's off of there.
It's a black screen and just your audio then.
Huh? Now what's happened? It's just gone black. Yeah, bloody hell. Hang on, let's see here. Mini globe race. Okay. What's happened here now? I can't get back on my screen.
Shut them all and share the screen again.
No, I can't get back on. I can't get back on Be Live.
Now we come back now.
Yeah, but I can't get on. There it is there. And it won't let me open it up.
Cancel that. Cancel. Now you got 3 screens now.
Yeah, okay.
And now it's a screen.
So how far did we get? There. Hello. You see me? Hopefully you can. So did people miss any of that? Or
it's been black. When I first checked, it got screen. But then
screen, just audio.
People are already saying, still here.
It's
so
black.
you're talking
Bloody hell.
So it's now.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but you should have the screen now. What have you got the screen? Sorry? It's got a delay. We're just checking, just waiting. Sorry about that, everybody. Normally, yeah. Okay, I've got to work out what happened then, see how much you got. I can still hear bloody Mara. Oh, jeepers, the sound is coming through on your live. Okay, so okay, got it. I put the volume down here on my screen, but it didn't take it off the other. I don't manage to see this. Okay. I can still hear Mara. So you had Mara chatting away while I'm talking as well, but it sounds like you had the tracker. So hopefully you could hear that over the top. Sorry about that. You're online. There you are. Funny as now you're back. There's the screen. Okay. So hopefully you saw the tracker. So I don't need to go through that again. Okay, well, we're just about done. We're talking about weather, so I'm going to... oh, you're on the tracker. Now I've got to go to the tracker. I'm on the tracker. Okay, so let's just talk about the weather and the course going up to Antigua. We haven't looked at currents yet, so I will pull the currents up because there's some dandy currents coming. That's where Kerry is as well. You can see there. Straight again, come back here. That's not a dumb move. Being out in the current is a good thing. And the breeze is still showing, as you saw, a little bit more breeze offshore than inshore. So Kerry's got the current. You're doing 4 knots. Erton's doing 4.5. So you must have a bit more breeze. Anyway, that's probably what Kerry was trying for, and Christian in the beginning as well. But might have been less breeze. Who knows what? So here's the challenges on the way to Antigua. First of all, they've got to get around the corner, and I'll come back to the weather in a minute. We'll just look at currents here. You can see they've got a huge current stream coming through, and this varies a lot. So if they want to get inshore and pick up the current, they're going to have to cope with all the rubbish that comes out of the Amazon. There's lots of flotsam and jetsam and logs and bits and pieces that are offshore. This is really well known for the dirty water or colloidal contaminants in the water. It's just soot and mud and stuff like that, because it's very shallow and silty here, because all the stuff that's come out of the Amazon has been there for trillions of years. So lots of challenges in here to make the most of these currents. Normally you want to be at least 300 miles offshore. So where's 300 miles? There's 300 miles on the run line. So you want to be out here, but then you miss out on this current. You're probably okay to squeak on this one here. So I have to think about that. And then then there's all these issues here. You want to hook onto that counter current there, but they'll be able to see that if they've got Starlink. Another one there, but it's a bit further off the track. And we'll look at the weather and so on, but that's where we're going, into Antigua. So currents are a relevant issue. Now if we go to the wind and then zoom out, this is the realm of the doldrums. If you've been following any of the round the world races, the doldrums is an area of really light winds, converging headwinds. So you've got the southeasterly trades coming up this way, and you've got the northeasterly trades up here, and they join together, and you get all sorts of thunderstorms, squalls, calms, confused sea, but generally not huge seas. And it's very challenging and demanding to get through. Now, at the moment, they're quite narrow, so there's light winds here, light winds there, but they're converging, and this is pretty reasonable. It always goes in this V shape, so if you're sailing around the world, you've got a big challenge to get across the doldrums. When you're coming home this way, it's a narrower area. It's not uncommon for there to be breeze all the way along around the coast, so I'm hoping that the fleet doesn't come into a big calm, but sometimes the doldrums will open up here. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it'll open up here, and it can be very slow going. Okay, so let's just have a look at that for now. The big picture, they've only just left. I'll come up one more size here. You can see there, not a lot of breeze. I don't have my keyboard with me, so I'm missing a G at the moment. I can't press the every 3 hour thing. I forgot it. But you can see it's lightening off, so there's the 21st. That's tomorrow, but still a nice breeze. It's going to roll around the corner. Oh, there's a big light patch coming 24 hours later. It's getting a bit lighter through here. The distance there, just to explain that, from there to there, 400 miles. So there's 400 miles of pretty light winds there. and then coming across another day. It's not strong, but it's okay. They'll still be getting their 100-mile days for sure. The lead pack will be getting better. There's another day. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think they're a bit light there, but they should be through it by then. That's the 26th. So it's now the 20th. So 6 days, they're going to be 600 miles in front. They're going to be way past that. So that's not so relevant. Just 600 miles. Come on. Yeah, 380 there between the two. I double clicked that in the line. So they'll be out of that realm in the next 3 days. So then you've got these blasting strong northeasterly trades, and you can see it's hitting right on the beam. So they should be able to ride down that run line all the way. And generally speaking, there's plenty of breeze there. So pretty strong, consistent trades. And what's driving that? It'll be the big Azores high up here. So here's Spain and Portugal and all that sort of stuff. So that's the size. This is the big North Atlantic. Now this is a high pressure system because it goes the other way around because you're in the northern hemisphere. They're all going to cross the equator again soon. There's the equator there. They don't have to have another party, but that's the generic of the northeasterly trades coming down here that'll sort of rocket them towards the finish. Now, they've got a fair way to go, 2,200 miles on the run line. Speaking to the entrance, Renault thinks he's going to be there about the 8th, 7th or the 8th, and the prize giving is on the 20th. The fleet usually on this distance will be split about 5 days, so the tail enders could be about 5 days later. So if the lead pack get in on the 8th, the 5 days later is the 13th or 14th, so they should be there. They should have a week before the prize giving at the National Sailing Academy in Antigua with Alison and all the crew there. So we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be quite weird. Anyway, I think now there's this funny reaction as well. I'll come back now. I don't think there's anything we need to do. We don't need to know about the leaderboard. There's a funny psychology going on now. I think and when you see the interviews that we did with the entrants, I mean, Jasmine's was on there now, which is talking mainly about her swim, but they all had a common. Not all of them. Well, they did. They had a bit of a common theme, and there was a bit of depression going on the last leg, and it was born out of the fact of what we tried to capture in Cape Town. If you saw those interviews, where like it was. The pressure's off. Everyone got through and made it to Cape Town, and we all knew that was the worst lot. Yes, there could have been a storm in the first week getting out of Cape Town because that can be very challenging, but we got a good slot, luckily, and they got through that first 7 days in pretty good conditions again. Some big waves in the beginning, but that's cool. And then they're on the road on the trade wind thing, and all of them had a rebound off the. Like it was really a case of, we just want to get this over with now. So it was not boring, but it was very contained. They knew exactly what to expect. There was no prospect of any huge storms or anything, and that really played on their mind. And some of them spoke about it quite dramatically, I thought, in our interviews that we just did, and we'll play one every day. So watch out for that. In particular, I thought, did we run Adams yet? Have we run Adam's interview yet? No. Okay. I thought Adam was very bold, very honest and open. He said some amazing things, and others did too. The fact that they went through a dark period, and if it wasn't on the leg to St. Helena, from St. Helena to Recife, they were really, some of them were really struggling. But now, after Carnivale, after the real big break in Recife again, this, that, that's all gone. It's history now, right? It's as if they've cleared the air, right? And so I have no doubt there'll be none of that. It's a really big up. Psychologically, it's fantastic. They're all heading to Antigua, and it's like, wow, we're doing this thing. They've still got to be cautious, and they know it's never over till the fat lady sings, but it's a very interesting process, the whole thing around the world and how you cope with it mentally. And the biggest relief, of course, is having Starlink. And we're seeing that. They can ring up their family, friends, wives, girlfriends, whatever, and it keeps them a bit sane. But nonetheless, it's quite a journey. And we're about to put the press release out today. It's a Friday, not the best day, but We'll see. A little short one, not a big story, but just they're underway. Where are they going? They're going to the finish. The finish is the end of the MGR, the inaugural edition, which is quite nuts. So that's about it. There's no entrant report. Surgeon's probably sleeping. Didn't call in to tell us the blow by blow, but there's Lucy High. Managed to see the start. It was fantastic. Yep. Don't thank me, thank Christine and all the FP Vela Sailing Association. We weren't even there. It was all by remote control, and they all did a great job. Christine's coverage was very good at the start, so thanks, Christine. And they did a good job of starting, and all the entrants were there, zipping through. So, yeah, it looked fantastic. It was really good. We'll absolutely be back in Recife, and it'll be an official stage next time. We'll plan it. We now know how fast the boats are going. That was always the challenge. I passage planned the whole way around the world on 100 miles a day, and even Josh can beat that, So we'll be a bit clearer, and the weather could be different in 4 years, I know. But anyway, it will be an official stage into Recife, and we'll have another prize giving. And things. So anyway, Val, her sound is coming through on your live. Oops. Sorry about that, everybody. You're probably sick of listening to Mara now, and me. Sylvia, so nice to watch the start of the race. Good luck, Jasmine, and I do hope you get better soon. Yes, me too, everyone. Grandpa's still figuring out the internet. Interesting you should call me Grandpa. There's something happening in the background that you'll all hear about in about a month. And I refer to myself as Grandpa. So shit, Grandpa's going to do this. But I'm not really Grandpa. I never had any kids, So there you go. But you're right, yes. And there's this program is funny, That was I don't usually put a video on a link to Facebook and stuff, I thought. And then, of course, I turned my volume down, but it's not the volume that you're seeing on that. So, and I didn't want to stop it because I didn't know what was going to happen if I just deleted the thingo. Anyway, yes, Grandpa buggered up again. G'day, Craig. Come for the sailing, stay for the comedy. Of course, this is us. We're a big budget professional operation. The old sailmaker. Black screen, just audio. Sorry about that. Don, got no picture. Yep, black. Eric, love Jenny Evans. Thanks, Jane. That's got it. I taught Jane everything she knows, by the way, so just so you're all aware. Got it. You're online. I can hear you. Good. There you are. Funny as now you're back. Okay. That's Mara's fault. Seeing you now, cool. You're back for the moment. Yes, she's gone now. Mara audio played all the way through the start. Then you went black. Bloody hell. All right, well, there'll be no Mara tomorrow. You know what's going on. I'm pretty impressed with Mara's efforts, obviously, to get that live up. So, what's the bet? Who's saying that? You reckon she'll be able to keep it running all the way? Even the cameras. I mean, they're all commercial cameras, but the camera self-tracks. When she's down below, she's moving. The camera automatically follows it. Not a big deal. You can get that, but it's still pretty cool for when you're watching. Who's having sex in the background? Quite off-putting. That must be bloody Mara again. But I thought that was off by then. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Not me. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. So thanks, everybody. Sorry about the stuff up there. But have fun, and we will see you tomorrow. See you later.